we now move on to the talk by Dr. Santosh Honawar. He'll be speaking on choosing the journal. So Dr. Honawar needs no introduction. Just to say, he's a world-renowned ocular oncologist and oculoplastic surgeon, and is currently the editor of the IGO and the Indian Journal of Ophthalmology Case Reports. He's a director of medical services at Center for Sight. He's a former head of the Department of Plastic Surgery and Ocular Oncology at LV Prasad Eye Institute. The CSIR awarded him the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize for Science and Technology, one of the highest Indian science awards for his contribution to medical science in 2009. He is counted among the top 2% of the world researchers, and he's one of the few Indian ophthalmologists to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award by the American Academy of Ophthalmology and the Honorary Fellowship of the Royal College of Ophthalmologists, London, UK. Over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you, Subhranshu. After all these wonderful talks, I'm just talking about a very small aspect, how to find a good journal for publication. I think Sunil deserved a lot of more time because his talk was excellent, and I think he had to rush. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about how to try to find a journal that is appropriate for your publication, because it's a jungle.
IGO, no? Santosh, only IGO.
All right, it's a jungle out there because there are too many journals that are there, and you really don't know how to find a right match. So it's all about finding a right match. So what is your best target journal? So your best target journal should be one which has some professional repute. You're aware of it. It should be an index journal. It should be published by a professional society. For example, ophthalmology is an official journal of American Academy of Ophthalmology, whereas IGO is an official journal of All India Ophthalmological Society. So when you know that these are journals published by professional societies, there is some amount of reputation that comes attached to it. Does it have a good impact factor? This is, of course, one of the criteria. Is it regularly published? Or the issues too delayed? Is the review time compact? And what about time to decision? Reasonable publication time. So after it is accepted, is it published within, say, 2 or 3 months time, or is it stretched beyond a year? And does it cater to your target audience? So that's always important, because if you publish about epidemiology of a particular disease in African Journal of Ophthalmology, then obviously you're totally out of target. People will have to go to a search database to find your article. Then that is a journal, and you have to match it with the type of article that is yours. Is it just an image? So there are only few journals which publish images and photo essays. If it's a case report, obviously it has to go to a journal which publishes predominantly case reports. There are special journals for case reports. Is it a surgical technique? Then your choice of journals is narrow. If it's clinical research, basic translational research, obviously they're diametrically opposite, so you have to choose an appropriate journal. Review articles are published by fewer journals such as Survey of Ophthalmology. If it's a meta-analysis, then you have to target a journal appropriately. Then is your topic of general ophthalmology interest, or is it of subspecialty interest? For example, if it's on cataract or glaucoma, then general ophthalmologists may be interested. But if you have worked on a very complex neuro-ophthalmological problem, then it must have to go to a subspecialty journal. Then is your research a breakthrough? Then you have to really target at a very good journal, because you know that your research is of great importance. But if it's just an incremental study or a replication of data that is already there in your own set of patients, then, well, of course, you can choose your journal. The main factors that will help you choose a journal are scope of the journal, reputation, and turnaround time. Now let's see what is this. What do I mean by scope? Does it fit the focus area of the manuscript? Again, giving example of ophthalmology and ophthalmology retina. If your manuscript is very highly specialized in, say, surgical retina, then you have to probably submit it to ophthalmology retina, which is just a sister or a co-publication of ophthalmology. Whereas if it's a general ophthalmology article, then it will find place in ophthalmology if it's very good. Does it regularly publish and in good numbers? The category of manuscript that you're aiming at. So for example, if a journal publishes just 1 or 2 case reports, then your chance of acceptance is limited. But if a journal publishes, say, 8 to 10 case reports regularly every month, then you are looking at a good scope of acceptance. Does it serve your target audience? That means the geography of the journal publication. So you have to know your audience. What kind of audience are you looking at? Are you looking at members of All India Ophthalmological Society, or is the world your stage? Coming to the reputation of a journal. Years in publication is one indicator, but doesn't mean that journals which are 60, 70, 80-year-olds are still doing well. One ideal way of looking at it is it indexed or not. Indexation is a good indicator because when it is indexed, a lot of factors are considered, and indexation is a process in which the journal's quality is regularly assessed. Is it from a regular professional publisher, reputed professional publisher? Is it an official publication of a reputed professional society? Does it have a good impact factor or a side score or a H index? And are your peers, the group that you're targeting, are aware of it or aware of this journal? Are they regularly accessing it? You have to be aware of the predators. Now there are two sets of databases which you can go to know what is a predatory journal. One of which is a criteria. This is World Association of Medical Editors criteria to identify a predator journal. Basically, a predator journal is from an unknown publisher with a set of unknown editors. For example, if you are in ophthalmology publication business, who are the reputed members of the editorial board in your own geographic area. And if it is very obscure kind of names or obscure publisher, then that raises suspicion. If a journal solicits publication, repeatedly emails you or contacts you by various means of communication and asks for publication, charges a hefty publication fee, has no or minimal peer review, or a peer review is so minimal that they simply accept it without asking for improvements or corrections, and the publication speed is really lightning. Within a week, you find the article online already. The journal is not indexed, and it is not in the directory of open access journals. And these are the two databases that will give you all the predatory journals. So you can actually look at it and then see if the journal that you're targeting finds place in one of these databases, which means that it's a predatory journal. There are other ways of identifying whether it's a predatory journal or not, but basically the 10 criteria that I told you are the ones with which you identify a predatory journal. Predatory journals are typically open access journals. Not all open access journals are predatory. In fact, open access is the current standard of dissemination of knowledge. So open access is good, but open access, which is profit driven and based on fraud and deceptive practices, is a predatory journal. So that you have to be aware of. Now the turnaround time. What are the classic turnaround times that you have in scientific journals? 6 weeks to 3 months is fine. 6 weeks is the time that it takes for a first decision, and 3 months is for the final decision. That is the standard of journal practices most of the journals follow. If you break it down, initial technical check is done in 1 week, peer review in 6 to 8 weeks, re-review in 3 to 4 weeks if it's re-reviewed for a next decision, acceptance to proof is 4 to 6 weeks, and acceptance to publication is another 3 to 4 months. Or if it's delayed beyond 3 months, then some journals offer an ahead of print early online version. So that is also acceptable. So these what I have listed here are the standard timelines for publication. So this is the final checklist I'm going to give you. Does the manuscript fit the scope of the journal? Does your manuscript fit the scope of the journal? Is the readership your intended target? So basically you have to look at whether it satisfies your regional and country criteria. Are you looking at comprehensive ophthalmologists or subspecialists, basic scientists or clinicians? Is the journal popular among your peer group who you're targeting? Is the journal optimally visible? This is very important because you have to be able to, or your targeted readership has to look at the journal and pull it up using digital databases such as PubMed and Google Scholar. Is the journal accessible, or is there a hefty accessibility fee? That means that is it a paid journal? Each reprint costs about $30, $60, $100, then people may not be able to access it. is the full text on PubMed or is it open access? So open access journals are favored currently as well because there is no excess fee to it. And how about the acceptance rate of the journal? Is it a measly less than 10%, which means that your manuscript may not stand a very good chance, or is it about 20 to 30%, which is healthy? So if you have 20 to 30% healthy acceptance rate, then you may want to prefer the journal. Further, does publication in a particular journal add value to your CV in front, in terms of good editorial board, affiliate society, etc.? Is the turnaround time optimal, or would your work get aged waiting for publication? If the relevance of your work is lost, then that is not a good decision. Submission to first decision and decision to publication are the two parameters that are usually considered when you talk about turnaround time. Is there a publication fee? This is very important. And can you afford that fee? Well, some of the reputed journals, to maintain themselves in a very healthy shape, financial shape, and kind of have a longer life, otherwise journals can fold up very easily because of financial issues. They do charge a publication fee, which is very healthy. It's called article processing charge or color image processing charge. If it's reasonable and if it's a reputed journal, well, you can go ahead it if you can afford it. Suppose you cannot afford it, then you can possibly ask them to publish with black and white images, or ask them to restrict open access. That means some journals charge the authors an additional fee to have it open access. So those are the mechanisms that you can play around with, but it has to be affordable and it should not be a predatory journal. So finally, you have to fit your manuscript to a target journal, and that was the idea of this talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for this crisp presentation.